I am here with the Tres Jolie special project, the Advent calendar, and I'm gonna kind of go over the parts just so you can see how it's built and put together, at least how I'm going to do it, but also to help you separate what all of the pieces are. I'm going to go over the easy ones first. This long piece and the solid triangle in the frame, that's your topper. And then you have the decorative pieces for that topper, the trees and the deer, and then that single tree. So that's the topper. These are all the pieces that you have one of each. Let me put this back over here. There we go. Okay, and now for the base. You have 8 pieces that look like this. There's a smooth front, 3 tabs, 3 tabs, and 4 tabs. There's 8 of these. These are the tops and the bottoms of the cube sections, because there's 4 sections, 6 cubes, or 6 drawers in each. So these are the cube sections pieces. That's why there's 8 of them. Okay. And then you have 4 of these that have the 2 slots in them, and these are the horizontals in those cube sections. So you would have 3 drawers on top and 3 drawers underneath. These are the verticals for those cube sections. They will go in here like so. And there are 8 of these. You have 24 that have 2 notches on each side, or 2 notches on 2 sides, I should say. These are your drawer fronts. And then you have 24 that have 2 notches on 2 sides and 2 tabs on what will be the bottom, and these are the drawer backings. It's 24 of those. You have 24 that look like this, 3 notches on each of the long sides and 2 notches on one of the short sides, and these are your drawer bottoms. And then you have 48 that have 2 tabs on each short side and 3 tabs on one of the long sides, and these are the sides of your drawer. That's why there's 48 of them. You have 8 panels that look like this, with 3 holes in the center, 3 tabs on one end, and 3 notches on 2 of the sides. And these are the side panels for your cubes. And then you have four pieces that are full of notches, or full of holes. So I can get a hold of one. Full of holes here. And notches on all the way around. And these are the cube backing. So you could see right here there'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drawers. So these are the backs of that cube. And then the last two pieces have this look on them. Easy to spot. These are your roof on that top piece. So it's already got those shingles, that shingle look in there already cut in. So that is your the base of your advent calendar. You see all these pieces already cut. It's just going to be gluing them together. Now, for the rest of what came in the kit to kind of get you going, there is this sheet of Stamperia paper. It's already got some numbers on one side and then this on the back. You could use either side. You could save it for something else. Use whatever you want, really. Let's see. There was a little bag of glitter, chunky glitter here. There are these little pulls, these little handles, knobs. Let me get them out of the bag like this. So you can turn them into your little pulls for your drawers if you want. Just like that. There is some walnut stain distress oxide spray. A little wreath. These Tim Holtz tokens, number tokens right here. So another option for your numbering system. This little bitty pine cone stem. Adorable. I absolutely love that. I'll probably be cutting mine up, but. And then there is some die cuts. Also Stamperia, so the same design that's on that sheet of paper. Like, let me just hold it up, just sort of try to get it out of the light a little bit. There we go. Different size pieces in them. Those are PVC. They're not paper. They're PVC. And then there was some glitter snow. So it's just a glitter paste, but this one says it's weather resistant, although I probably won't be sticking my advent calendar out in the weather. So this is basically more or less some like glitter paste, and then you have some stain, and you have some number tokens, and you have a number sheet or just the solid on the back, and you have these die cuts that when I was going through them, I'm pretty sure I saw some numbers in them as well, but I didn't really like pull everything apart. Some die cuts in here. I think that was it for the Advent calendar kit. I keep feeling like I dropped something, but I can't find it, so maybe I didn't. So that's what you have to get you going. Now, you don't have to use exactly this. If you had the scrapbooking kit, let me grab that up. It also has a Christmas theme in it. It's got the 49 Market Christmas vintage artistry. The scrapbooking kit there. You could grab a couple up if you prefer. The mixed media kit is also Christmassy. It has some metallic paints in it. These kits this month are just, I really think that they're great. They can be combined so well together. After quite a bit of experimenting on smaller pieces of wood I have lying around, I finally decided how I wanted to stain my Advent calendar. Now, let me get this. There we go. If you are planning on using this, which I am planning on using this glitter snow, you have to keep in mind that the Distress Oxide sprays are water reactive. Okay, they're gonna go on, and if you put anything on top of them, your snow is now just dirty snow. It's going to reactivate and absorb some of that dye. This is one of the small pieces that I had been experimenting with colors on. But I did also want to show that water reactive will turn your white snow brown. However, what I finally did decide to do will make it so that it is no longer water reactive. You can see I have my stain that I have decided on, and I put a little bit of that glitter snow on here, and it has stayed white. And just to compare side by side there, there you go. So a big difference there. All right, now for what I have decided on for my coloring. This is just it had Parmesan cheese in it, and I'm going to use it so I can mix up my batch. Hopefully I mix enough up all at once. I have some plastic wrap that I will also go over that so that it stays moist, stays liquid, doesn't dry out, because I'm sure I will have to take breaks. This is a lot of pieces of wood here. Okay, I have some clear gesso. I'm gonna try to mix it up here. I know in my head what it looks like, so hopefully this will help you kind of decide. I'm going to zoom in just so that you can kind of see the ratios. That's the word, the ratios. I have my clear gesso, I have that walnut stain Distress Oxide spray, and I have the silver paint that is from the mixed media kit. So the gesso is from my stash, the Distress Oxide spray is from the Advent calendar kit, and the silver paint is from the mixed media kit. So let me go ahead and zoom in real quick. So first for measurement purposes. Actually, if you were curious of the original size, let's see, it had it was a 5-ounce container of cheese. So about that size. Let me get a ruler here. So my container I'm working in is about, I'll do inside measurements, about 4.5 inches at the top and 3.5 across the bottom. So if that gives you an approximation of what size container, so that you can kind of see how much space I'm using up here. The majority of this is probably actually going to be my clear gesso, and I'm really going to kind of squeeze it in here so you can see how much is there. It covers that whole bottom, and I can't really turn it on its side, but I have a little over 1/2 inch, so about 5/8 of an inch in here of gesso. And then I'm going to add some silver paint. And gosh, I would say that's probably, this is a 2-ounce bottle. I've probably put about 1 ounce in. And then my Distress Oxide spray. I think I'll do it by squirts. I can keep track of how many sprays I put in. I'm going to do it off to the side real quick because I don't want to get it on to any of that. But I will tell you how many sprays I get in here. I am up to 60 full squirts of that Distress Oxide spray, and I'm thinking that this should be the end. Yes. So for that 5/8 of an inch in the bottom of this container, I had about 5/8 of an inch worth of clear gesso. Probably, I don't even know this is full half. Let me unscrew the top and look. Actually, there's probably, so I could probably actually add a little bit more shimmer in here. And I probably will. So far, I have, it looks like maybe 1/4 of this bottle in here. You can kind of see there, and I think I'm going to add a little bit more shimmer in here. So I don't really think the silver does not affect my color very much. It just adds some shine. So now I probably have about 1/3 of this bottle in here. I'm trying to see, it looks like that it's down to here, so about that much of the bottle is mixed in. So you can see now kind of the color that I am working with. Now, this is my part that's kind of messy. If you don't want to change colors, you might want to wear gloves. I have some old t-shirt right here, and I am going to just show you. I'm going to grab up one of these smaller pieces for right now. This is one of the drawer backs. Be like this at the back of the drawer. And I'm going to go with the grain when I do this. So I'm just going to use my brush here to get it started. And I'm just going to show you this one real quick. Maybe I will, on this smaller piece, I will use a smaller brush to get it going. Spread it around. And I'm doing mine extra careful. I will not be working over all of my pieces. I just want to kind of show my process. So I'm just using my smaller brush to spread this around, going with the grain of the wood. And then I'm using an old t-shirt, a rag that I cut off an old t-shirt. And I am spreading it in, really kind of rubbing it in. Just like so. You can do the edges if you want. Just making sure that it is a fairly even cover, and you're going to want to keep just going. You can hear the difference. It sounds rougher and it sounds smoother. So, and there you have it. So depending on exactly what shade you're going for yours, you can vary how much gesso to silver paint to distress spray stain, the distress oxide stain that you want to put in. So I'm going to go and I'm going to coat all of my pieces, and I'm probably going to do both sides because I have to. You don't have to. My brain says I have to make it all match. Let them sit, let them dry, and then come back and start putting things together. And I am, yes, going to do every single surface with my mix, I think, except my roof on the shingle side is not going to be the same color. I'm probably going to make it a little bit darker. I have done a lot of my advent calendar. I have my cubes put together. There is a, when you order the kit, you'll get a link for the assembly. When I first started this, I didn't have that yet. So that's kind of why I was talking about assembly in the beginning. So now I'm just going to go straight into how I'm choosing to decorate it. Now, if you got the kit, it came with these and the Stamperia paper and ephemera. But sitting here and thinking about it, and with how I have done the wood, I really think that I'm going to use the scrapbooking kit, the 49 and Market from the scrapbooking kit. I'm going to use the Tim Holtz number tokens to number my drawers, and someplace around here, there they are, I'm going to use some of the Tim Holtz hitch fasteners. These are going to actually be my drawer pulls instead of these. I'm sure these will appear someplace in the future, But I really kind of like this little knobby look of these hitch fasteners. So I have actually went and pre-drilled some holes, so they will be just little things like that. But I will get there. This is probably going to be one of the last things that goes on. And I will be doing it in that nickel finish to match the number tokens. So that's kind of where I'm at in my thought process. Now I have the front of the topper already stained. I haven't done the inside of the topper, the trees, the deer, or the back, and I don't need to do the inside of the back because, as you might have guessed, I am going to be using this sheet of paper from the scrapbooking kit as my background. I'm going to try to line up those trees the best I can to go in here, and I'll make some filler for the corners, but I'm going to try to center it. But I do have, no, I didn't do the back yet. I hadn't done the back either. I still need to stain the back side of this. I will get to that. And my drawer fronts. Whew, this is going to be tricky, but I'm going to do it because I am actually going to cut my paper and make it so that it will cover the whole drawer front, including where those tabs would show. So I have my inside stained, but I don't need to do it on this front side. So I will be very carefully, I will be cutting this so that this will be over here and this part of the page will be on this side, and this one with the doily will be in between. Now it is a touch taller than 12 inches when they're all put together. So with the bit that comes off the top of this, I will put some filler in. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do those strips yet. I'll see what I like as I'm working. So that's where I am right now. I am going to cut out my pieces, lay them out on each square, and then I'm really going to want them to stay down good, and I'm going to kind of want them protected. So I'm going to brush on, I'm going to use a matte gel as my adhesive. I'll brush it on the wood and adhere the paper. And then after that, I'll probably spray some kind of sealer on it. Probably my Mod Podge matte acrylic sealer. But I will come back when I get to that. I'm just going to kind of talk about where I am. I'm going to cut my fronts, and I'm going to get my fronts glued on so that that has time to dry. I will come back. I kind of have an idea going for what I want to do on the inside of the topper with the trees and the deer, but one thing at a time, I guess. Okay, I thought I should talk about my process for covering these drawers, because I want this centered. I am working from the center out. So I cut 6 inches and 6 inches there. I will get to that one in a moment. So then these drawers are, the drawer fronts are 3¼ inches wide, 3 1/16 inch high. So I am going to come in this way from the centers so that it will all line up. I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. I will start here to show you what I am talking about. So I'm going to measure in from the center 3¼ inches. So I have this piece here, so you see, and now that one will go there. So then I will have to work my other paper around on it, and then I'm going to come up this way 3 1/16 inch. So I have my piece here, and then I have this piece here, and then I will come up 3 1/16 inch on this one. So it is like so, and this one fits up here. And that's how I'm going to work on the other ones, from the center on out. Alright, I have my squares cut out. You can kind of see what it's going to be looking like. Down here, I haven't quite finished cutting this apart yet. I'll cut it here, and then when I get down here, I'm going to start fussy cutting around the rest of the flowers and those berries there, so that it'll just be a little bit of an overlap there. And then the same I'll do up here, just this little bit of green leaf that came across, I will be fussy cutting out just so it continues along the way. So I'm just going to grab up my matte gel, and I think I'll use my brayer to do it. I'm going to use a sheet of paper in between the brayer just because it's kind of dirty and kind of sticky, and just to make sure. And I'm just going to start lining up my pieces and getting them all set, ready to dry and sit and wait for the next stage, because once they have all the paper surfaces on, then I'll really be able to kind of think about what I want to do along the bottom edge and the top edge that will be sticking out just a little bit, and kind of to bring them together, the two different sheets of paper. Alright, I've been giving some thought to the trees that go in the top, and I have a few things. I have some speckled egg distress paint from my stash, some Lindy's flat Fabio spray sidewalk chalk that was in the August mixed media kit, my clear gesso, some heavy white gesso, that same silver paint that's in this month's mixed media kit that I've been using, and that walnut stain distress oxide from the Advent calendar kit. I don't know if I'll be adding other colors. I have some liquid acrylic inks over here for my stash that I'm thinking I may need to add in, and very lightly, just to try. I'm gonna try to get close to the same shades of that blue-green that is in this background, or that's going to be the background. So I'm just going to kind of start, and I have some water because I'm not going to brush this on or rub it in. I'm actually going to try to make it very thin and almost like staining the wood, but more like soaking it and kind of dyeing it through. And that's going to be kind of like my base coat. I have thoughts going on in my head. I'm hoping that I can execute them the way I'm thinking. So I'm just going to kind of start adding. I don't know what my ratios are going to be, because it's just going to be until I think that it'll be close to that, but we'll see. I have my pieces soaking. It's not flat. This is a very old cookie sheet, so kind of deformed on the bottom. It's bulged down. So I kind of keep turning them over, and I'll brush more puddles on. I'm not necessarily trying to make it even. I don't mind if there are areas darker or lighter and splotchy. I would actually prefer a more splotchy look, but I'm just letting that soak. So far, it has been soaking for almost 40 minutes, but I want to work on my roofs. I have this side already done with the stain that I used, or that I made up and used on all of the wooden pieces. And this side, well, you can see it got around here, and I wasn't worried about that because this side's going to be darker, being the shingles of the roof. I'm just using a little lid here, my silver paint, put some on there. The walnut stain oxide spray is going to go in there. Let me get a brush here. I'm just going to pour it out right now. There we go. And kind of mix that all together and then just brush it on. Okay, I'm back to my drawer fronts. You can kind of see what direction this is going. These are not screwed into the holes yet. And because at some point in time I forgot how to count, I'm waiting for another package to arrive. I'm not sure how. I had one package already that still had the 4 nickel in it. And for some reason, I think this was my thought process, that I needed 1 package per cube, because also for some reason I thought 4 was the same as 6. I have no idea. So I had 1 and I was like, well, I only need to get 3 more, but I threw in a 4th one just to have, and what we've learned is I don't know how to count. Anyhow, so here we are. This is kind of the direction it's going. I am not finished. I am going to kind of look and see what I have in some smaller pieces. Like this is the strip off of one of the bottoms. So I was thinking I might be able to kind of line it up along an edge, like so. See how it goes. I might pull out some other papers. I have these pieces from the sheets. Maybe I'll do it in red. I'm just going to kind of look at the papers I have, figure out how I want to do these edges, and finish those up. And then what I'm really going to be doing is pulling these rub-ons out and adding them to the surface. That's why I still have these all laid together, so that I can. This is very well sealed. They do not want me to open it. There we go. I'm going to be just pulling all my rub-ons out of the packaging, kind of cutting them apart, moving them around, seeing how things look, and where I might want to be adding some. And truthfully, I may not put paper. I may come in with some paint and just add rub-ons to my edges here. There is these splotches, some stars, some music, words, and then trees and flowers and foliage. So I'm just really going to kind of look around and see what I have going and work from there to finish my drawer surfaces, because I'm not going to make them thick. I will probably also poke my holes through my paper where I want these to go before I do the rub-ons. Maybe. We'll see. And there you have it. I put a ton of the rub-ons on, and they are layered up on each other. You can see I really loved that star sheet. I knew I was going to use that star sheet coming out of these corners here. I have some of the music. I used all of the sheet that had the splotches on it. Where's the... There it is. I used a lot of this sheet. I used the flowers and the flower bunch on it. None of the trees or the deer or the birds on this sheet here, but all of those flowers I did use. I used almost all of this sheet, the flowers and the leaves and the stems, but I didn't use that wreath. I only used the countdown to Christmas, and I put it down here. It's real subtle. It'll be right down here on the last week of the calendar. I used about half of the music sheet. I have some here, a little bit here, here, and here. Oh, and over here a little bit. I used this entire splotch sheet, but it's all layered up in here. Down here, some of it is here, some goes across here, along this edge and up this edge, and then the entire star sheet is on here. So I really, this is what I have of those rub-on sheets left. So I really went to town with it. This center from the laser cut sheets in the paper pack, I used the wreath, that flower that was in the center, and this bigger one. That is what I put here, and then I added a few of the poinsettia rub-ons on it. And and then just on my edges, I have some heavy white gesso to prepare it, because I think I'm going to be adding some snow. So I just put some heavy white gesso on there just to get it ready to have the snow added. And then I'm going to go, and I already started, poke those holes where my little knobs will be going. Going to go through all of them, poke the holes. But before I attach my knobs, I am going to seal this, because there's layers and there's rub-ons, and it'll help keep the paper cleaner, or at least easier to wipe up. So I have some Krylon matte finish, and this is a permanent protective finish. So I am going to, after I poke my holes, I'll take this out, spray this finish on. I might kind of tape off my bottom here. I actually don't know how that snow will stick to the finish. Maybe I should do a test piece. I don't want to put the matte spray on the snow, because then it wouldn't be glittery anymore. So maybe I'll do a test piece and see about that. But holes, finish it at some point in time, seal it up, add some glitter snow along my edges, and pop my knobs in, and all of my drawer fronts will be done.